game. Nothing really important.
Alright, not too much of a worry then. Alright, game screen is cropped into place. Yeah, so I think if the audio is just going to be blips and bops, then I think we are ready to go.
All right.
Alright, I can go ahead on introductions and we'll get today going.
Sorry?
You can go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll get day 2 of Obscurathon started.
All right. Okay. So I'm DigitalDuck. Welcome to Obscurathon number 4. I'm kind of done a few of these now, so we're just gonna get straight on with this. I will wait for the next boat to load, and then we'll start. I'll do a quick countdown. It's just I can't start while it's loading the next boat. All right, so let's go in 3, 2, 1. Ready, and start. So this is Destructo. It's a Spectrum game released in 1986, I believe. There's another version. There's an Amstrad version and a Commodore version as well. Personally, I think the Spectrum is the best of these 3, just because of the gameplay. It's fairly straightforward. We have to shoot down planes, and we have to make them crash into this boat. And when we've made enough planes crash into one section of a boat, the boat will get a hole in it. And we put enough holes in the boat sinks. We'll repeat this a number of times. There we go. So now we have 3 holes in the boat. All the planes disappear. The target is destroyed. Now, obviously, it's not just going to be exactly like this for the entire time, because that wouldn't make very interesting a game. So each new level introduces something new. So you might notice in the first level we had yellow planes and we had green planes, and both of those, the green ones go slowly, the yellow ones go quickly, but neither of them actually harm you, so the first level is basically free. The second level introduces these blue planes, and the blue planes do hurt you if you crash into them. This is the first level where I can actually lose lives. Overall, we also have a sun moving past, and that's because the game has a 7-day time limit. If it takes longer than 7 days to beat the game, you lose. I'm hoping that we don't get anywhere near it. It's usually about 5 days for a completion for me. You know, the life count is definitely the tougher part of this game. And 1 down. Speaking of lives, we start with 7 lives and we get 1 extra life every time we sink a ship. And so we go on to the 3rd level, and now we have pink planes. And the pink planes are just fast versions of the blue planes. Which means that if we crash into them, we will lose a life. Let's just try and clear up before night falls. You'll notice the sun has travelled all the way across. I just completely wasted that bomb. Yes, so for each level we get one bomb, and you can use it to do a bit of extra damage on the boat. Right, so night has fallen. We are now at night time, so we have stars in the background, and we're going to have a moon pass by the back. Of course, a day is both a day and a night, so the day's counter doesn't go down until we actually come back into the sunrise again. Right, ship 4. Now we have these floating mine things. Very strange, but they do the same as the blue planes and the pink planes. If you crash into them, you lose a life. The difference is that you can't shoot these ones down. We also have these helicopters. The helicopters, again, they're flashing pink and blue, which implies that if you touch them, you lose a life. The helicopters are unique in that they will crash and crash into the ship in a completely different pattern. So as you see, the planes, they will go forwards a little bit after you shoot them and then drop down. The helicopters will actually jump up and then fall down in a spiral pattern, or a sort of a zigzag. I've just crashed into a blue plane. And on top of that, while the helicopters are falling, they are still vulnerable to touch. So you've got to avoid them while the helicopters are falling. So here we get to the first target that isn't a ship. We've got to sink an island. And we have these strange yellow arrows. Again, they are just instant deaths. We've also got these giant yellow bombers, which act the same way as the helicopters when you shoot them. And then we've got these weird yellow and green planes. When you shoot them, they turn into blue planes. They are actually harmless before you shoot them, but after you shoot them, they can hurt you. Again, some very strange mechanics, these planes. The yellow bombers, despite being yellow, do actually hurt you to touch. They also drop bombs, which unfortunately don't help you sink the island. It is surprisingly difficult to explain this game and play at the same time. I don't think there's anything new on this level. I think this is just previous level with different ratios of ships. In some levels you'll get lots and lots of yellow and greens, and in this level there's basically hardly any yellows, hardly any greens. It's all the harmful types, because again things are getting harder. We've also got the mines reappearing. There is some strategy towards dropping planes in the areas of the boat which are the least tall. And if you can actually concentrate on where you're dropping the planes while all this is going on, then you should be running this, because I can't. So again, nothing new in this one. We just got... Oh, I just flew straight to the bomb. We've just got more and more things going on. So again, enemies that were being introduced one at a time, we just have all of them now. I could talk a little bit about version differences. The CPC version is fairly similar to this, and it looks a lot better. I would say probably that, even though I said this is my favourite version, the CPC version is probably the best overall. It doesn't play quite as good as this, but it looks fantastic. The Commodore 64 version is not a good version, purely for the fact that they completely ruined the gameplay on it. It goes far too quickly. It's far too difficult. It's just not fair, which is a shame because it has some nice visuals going for it, and if I remember rightly, it's the only one that's got music. Although I could be thinking of a different game. Yeah, let's not crash into these. In terms of controls, we can turn left, turn right, speed up, shoot, or drop a bomb. Classic single joystick, single button controls. Right, in terms of levels, we are a third of the way through. There's 21 levels. Okay, there's 21 levels altogether. And they do get increasingly hard, although there are a few reprieves, a few bonus levels in there. We have helicopters. And we've avoided helicopters. You do get a brief period of invincibility after you die. There's nothing on your plane that actually indicates this. You don't turn a different colour or anything. But it's about 3 seconds when you spawn into when you actually can be damaged. I'll wait till I get this level out of the way before I explain some of the Spectrum-specific stuff. Come on, I'm like one plane in the right place short, come on. There we go, okay. Right, so you might notice a lot of colour shifting going on. Some planes swap colours when passing over other planes. When you fly over the ship, colours go weird. If you're not familiar with the Spectrum, then yeah. So the Spectrums graphical resolution is 256 by 192, but its colour resolution is only 32 by 24. And what this basically means is that in each 8 by 8 cell, you can only have 2 colours at a time. Obviously, if you've got a plane that's got white and black details flying over a boat that's got yellow and red details, some of those colours are going to have to be sacrificed. You can only do 2 of them. And so the way it generally works is that the colours just get overwritten and then written back again. It is a common feature among Spectrum games. Your options are either basically don't worry about it, or make your game black and white. This one obviously shows the don't worry about it option. Clobber Castle. So this is the second time we're not sinking a boat. And what makes this one funny is that technically it's not even over water. So we're dogfighting over a castle on land. We're still making planes drop into it to destroy it though. Yeah, we can't change the gameplay formula. I completely wasted that bomb. We can't change the gameplay formula too much. We're just gonna keep shooting things. This one's taking a fair bit longer than it usually does. Okay, finally we managed to puncture a hole in the castle. And there's water gushing through the land. So don't think about it too much. Right, onto another docked boat. So I think this is the last level where there's nothing new. So from about level 6 or I think it's 6 up until this one, they don't actually introduce anything new. They just pile on the difficulty for a bit. There we go. That one went a lot faster. So we're on to Echo Beach. This is called Echo Beach because it's a repeat of Last Resort. So it's an echo. But also just shoves tons and tons of mines and helicopters at you. This is a stage where you want to be at the bottom of the screen for as much time as you want, because otherwise that happens because I can't press the buttons properly. Yeah, being in the top half of the screen in this level is a death wish. Just don't do it. Also, I was wrong. There isn't anything new on this screen. Did it? If you get hit and start falling during the sinking animation, that life doesn't get taken away from you. So that doesn't actually count as a life lost there. Which is always good news, because we need all the help we can get. You'll notice the screen wraps to left and right. It doesn't wrap top and bottom. Well, it doesn't wrap top. If you go off the top of the screen, you will go into a tailspin and fall down. If you go off the bottom of the screen, you will also go for a tailspin off the top of the screen. Kind of a weird half wrap it does. But in practice, you want to not go anywhere near the top or bottom of the screen. You don't want either of those to happen because it puts you out of control for a short period of time. And that's usually when you end up going face first into another plane. Or a mine. I am down to 3 lives, that's not good. This is actually kind of risky. Right, Colossus. Although I haven't actually talked about the plot of this game yet, it is an excuse plot. Dr. Destructo is an evil villain who has a massive fleet of ships and secret bases and stuff, and you're destroying it all. That's the entire plot. Ah yes, this is the one, okay. So, in this level, we start getting UFOs. I don't know why there are UFOs. There are just UFOs in this level. And they keep going throughout the game. The bigger a ship is vertically, the more planes you have to make crash into it in one spot for it to actually puncture a hole. You'll notice there's a 2-up in the score. And that's because this is actually a 2-player game, and you can have planes, two players playing at the same time, cooperatively. Whoever scores more in one round gets the extra life. So there's a bit of competition there as well. This level is fairly interesting because it introduces the rocket ships, which start off going slow but then shoot super fast. I just went straight into that arrow. Those also drop straight down as the instant you shoot them, but they do so slowly, and they're vulnerable, or they can harm you while they're falling down. This level is actually a reference to Panic Miner, which I ran for, I can't remember which Obscurathon it was, but possibly the first one. The 5th level of that game is called Eugene's Lair. It's all connected. This game doesn't have nearly enough toilets or credit card fraud. So it's not quite the same as the original. So yeah, 2 holes is enough for that one. Some stages need 3, some need 4, some need 2, some need 1. More of the rocket ships. Here you can see that the rocket ships are actually docked on the tuner. It's entirely background decoration, it doesn't actually mean anything, but it's some nice world building at least. And the UFOs are back. We managed to get 5 holes in this ship, even though we only need 3. Paranoia. Okay, so this is a bonus stage. The white and red planes here are supposed to just be the same as the player planes. If you're playing 2-player, the second player is red. They go straight down when you shoot them. They can't hurt you. We just have to destroy these statues. I'm not very good at timing it. Right, we got one. Two, three. Come on. I missed that bomb entirely, that's fine. That was terrible timing. Come on. There we go, okay. Shoot a few more planes down for fun. Right, well this one doesn't look like a penguin. But now we have some space shuttles. And they fall down in this diagonal manner. They'll also only fly at the top of the screen. I don't think they come down any lower. Although, for some reason, my mind's saying that that's not strictly true. Which means I'm probably forgetting about some edge case. But in general, I think of those as just being at the top of the screen. Oh yeah, it's when they do that. Okay. More UFOs again. You can see we started off with just biplanes, and as time has gone on, technology has gotten more advanced. So now we've got space shuttles and UFOs and rocket ships. They all leave a hole in a aircraft carrier the same way. Just 3 more levels to go. And we've got 7 lives. I think that should be enough. The final island. End of the world. We have these weird homing mine things. Or bouncing mine things. It might be tempting to try and aim for the lighthouse on this level. Because it looks like it's a target you're supposed to aim for. That's actually completely a red herring. If you aim for the lighthouse, it will take you much longer to finish the level. Just because the lighthouse is so big, and you don't get any bonus for actually destroying it. So yeah, pretty simple that one. 2 more to go. So we've moved into just outright space now. We have these. I don't even know what these are supposed to be. But yeah, we're just destroying a spaceship. It just no story reason for it. We don't need justification. We're in space now. Deal with it. These green and blue flashing planes are identical to the green biplanes. They don't hurt you. They do fall down in a slightly different way, but other than that, they're just green planes. Again, this is more of a get you used to the new mechanic before they force the final level on you. Try to avoid everything else in the meantime. Right. Final level. Already on time. A floating space base with a giant death laser on top of it. Because of course it is. And yeah, we just got everything in this level. All of the space, UFO, rocket ship, space shuttle, weird mine things. We're still in our biplane, in space. Don't worry about it. And we only have to create a single hole. And then that'll be us. Yeah, sorry for the silence, I'm just concentrating. You already know everything there is to know about this game. Apart from the ending screen, so I'm going to try and show that to you as soon as I can. Unfortunately, it is very chaotic. It is very hard to actually pinpoint where you land these planes, so just shoot them down, hope they land in the right spot. I do have an area which is working fairly well, but can't get to it. Okay, I just flew into that shuttle. It's fine, still got a few lives left. Okay, time is going to come up when the island starts to sink. I don't know what it's sinking into because it's in space, but that's time. Target destroyed. And we get an extra life for the ending, which says, today you win, tomorrow you shall kneel. And then before me is written in the wrong place because of a bug. And that's the island of Dr. Destructo. Stick around, I'll be doing Kickstart 2 in just a few minutes. See you then.